Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of I Should Be Painting. We are in my office today because today we are doing something special. I have been doing I Should Be Painting for almost a year. We are approaching the end of the year. There's only a couple Sundays left, and the next couple episodes are going to be some fun holiday-themed episodes. So I thought I would take a chance this week to take a look at some of my favorite projects and my favorite artists from 2020 with you all. Maybe you missed some of them, maybe some of them are new to you, and we can take a look at some of the projects and some of the people that have brought me inspiration and happiness and joy by participating in the artistic community that is our geeky, nerdy miniature hobby. So here we go. We are going to start off on Instagram with WSCMiniature, which is one of the first people that we looked at. It was a very early episode with these amazing Tyranids. And of course, I invited everybody to follow, and I have been continuing to follow. And as you can see, the work on this page, WSCMiniature, is just incredible. Not only is it 40K stuff, but it's also Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff. And just overall consistent, awesome, really inspiring paint jobs. It's really fantastic. I absolutely love it. And it's definitely one of my favorite artists from this year. Next, we are going over to Jason for, I think, what is still my favorite game room that we have seen at all times. It's this amazing board game room with all of this custom stuff. We talked about how he had the Lassiter, and he's got the Lord of the Rings sword, and he has all these different games, and it's all laid out so amazingly. But more importantly, he also has this really cool custom table. This still has been lingering in the back of my mind as to how am I going to make my ultimate gaming studio when it's time for me to make my studio. So thank you so much, Jason, for letting us share this amazing studio space. RoboPainter is another person that we started looking at this year, and if you haven't followed them, you should give them a follow. But again, we're just talking about another really incredible and talented person who's putting out beautiful miniatures with exquisite detail, that's also very unique and stylized, customized. Just a fantastic person to take inspiration from. And I'm really proud to have met and to be watching RoboPainter. Here we go, custom builds out of paper. Things that I absolutely love. This helmet is incredible. We've looked at a couple helmets over the course of this year, but this is still one of my favorites, made out of paper, made by Alex, originally found on Facebook. Making a costume, specifically a 40K costume, is always in the back of my mind. It's always one of those projects that I'm constantly thinking about. In fact, with my laser cutter, I was able to get this really cool lion etch on this EVA foam, and this was the start of sort of like a armor piece. I don't know for where, that's why I'm not naming it. I'm always thinking about making props, and I'm always thinking about making costumes, and so it's wonderful when you see things like this. HotelHobbyist, looking at some BattleTech miniatures. This brings me back to what originally got me into the hobby, which was BattleTech miniatures, and it's still really fun to watch and look at how this stuff progresses. Of course, he does a lot more than just BattleTech, and in general, this is a really fun page to follow. Lots of customizations going on, lots of really fun paint schemes, but also getting to look at some miniatures that maybe you don't look at on an everyday basis, such as BattleTech. We are over at Ylgyrien, which I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that possibly. I think there's a G there, Ylgyrien. I don't know, I'm very sorry, but again, an amazing painter who just brings their unique style and continues to post wonderful things for everybody to look at. I particularly like these dryads. Dryads are some of my favorite models actually that GW has ever put out. I think they're really fun, and just again, someone that's really worth following because not only is she an amazing painter, but she has a particular style that's really nice to look at and that I find very inspirational. So thank you for participating in our I Should Be Painting. Maximum Heresy. I would say this is one of the most fun things that I have found this year. I mean, it is just freaking awesome to take the Warhammer 40K figures and then stick custom Lego heads on them. I mean, the figures themselves are painted great. But then this just added level of fun and customization and whimsical nature to it. It's just beautiful, and there's always something new to look at. Like, for example, this holiday stuff. His poses are dynamic, his faces are really fun. It combines, you know, two things that I love a lot, which is Legos and Warhammer. I just think this is absolutely great. So if you are not aware of Maximum Heresy, if you missed that episode, this is definitely one of my favorite things from 2020. And then we go to Sergey. Sergey hasn't posted in a while, but you know, that's okay, because I go back and I look at this picture, and then I look at my miniatures, and then I look at this picture, and then I look at my miniatures, and I go, man, one day, I will get something so cool as this. At least I hope so. WhenGeeksCraft. WhenGeeksCraft has been a huge influence on me this year. Many of you may know that I bought a Glowforge. I originally came across WhenGeeksCraft as a person who is a fellow patron of Kyle Hill, who is a YouTuber. And if you are a patron of Kyle Hill, then you get to go in their Discord channel, and we both were posting things that we are working on. And obviously WhenGeeksCraft is making these amazing maps. And they were very kind and talked me through the basic setup and answered a lot of questions about using the the laser cutter, and just in general, I have found their work to be very inspiring. I also find it inspiring because it's non-40K related, and it kind of allows me to open up my whole crafting identity a little bit more. And I've been working on some other projects just for fun, specifically with the laser cutter. But WhenGeeksCraft is incredible, both their YouTube channel and their Instagram. paladinwoodworkingmaine. Okay, these guys are a company. They are professionals. We looked at them specifically for this absolutely incredible table that like changes colors and has all this insane wood inlay, and the middle of it like pops up. It's just absolutely fantastic. Again, it's one of those things that's like, yep, one day, you know what I mean? One day we are gonna get something as cool as that. But of course, they also have a bunch of really fun woodworking things that you can buy, dice rollers, and just beautiful stuff. Knox Workshop. Knox is working on armor, and anybody who's working on armor, particularly out of foam, makes my cut, because again, like I said, that's something that I've been thinking about for a really long time. Deuce McKennis Hobbies, masterclass painter, very dark, very subtle, very beautiful, amazing hand-drawn, hand-painted details on the side of their vehicles, and just this incredible dark, you know, blended work that is, I mean, what's really great about this for me is not just the technical proficiency that is showed here, but it is the stylization. And it's really nice whenever you find an artist that represents a style that you can internalize and think about, that inspires you to be more creative with your styling. Obviously there's a very specific, you know, vaporwave sort of darkness going on that is just absolutely beautiful. This artist is another one of the artists that I've been going back to a lot, and thinking about how can I make myself more stylized. jwminiatures. Still one of the most incredible like paint schemes that I've seen. I don't even know what's going on. I don't know if this is like dipped or airbrushed, or I don't know what the heck is going on here. But again, hyper stylized, very inspiring, super masterclass level work. And wear gloves. James Sutherland, we took a look at this Necron. It was one of the first Necrons that we looked at. Beautiful paint job. Great person to follow on Instagram. Creative Storm Studio. Creative Storm Studio is really fun. She does a whole bunch of amazing work, including having little miniatures of herself made. She also does a bunch of live streaming of painting. She does stuff for D&D. She's a commission painter. She does just things across the board. She's really fun to watch on Twitch. She's also a really amazing painter, and a good friend of mine, and is definitely somebody that you should follow, both here on Facebook and on Twitch. Kat Martin. I don't know what else to say. I've been a fan of Kat Martin for a very long time, ever since I saw her work at an Adepticon a long time ago. I think it was an Adepticon. She's just an amazing artist. And on top of her miniature painting, she also sells prints. I have purchased some of those prints. I thought maybe there was one behind me, but there's not. Kat Martin is a must follow. Okay, here we go. We are getting to some of the most inspiring people, most prolific people, people that I've been looking at a week-to-week basis, if not a day-to-day basis. And I have to say, one of my favorite new artists, photographers, display maker, miniature extraordinary is garfygram. He does these incredible cinematic photographic scenes of Warhammer and Age of Sigmar, and I mean the amount of stuff that he has put out in 2020 is absolutely incredible. And you can go to his Instagram and his Facebook and you can read about how he gets into it and what he's doing and what, you know, like how he's getting on White Dwarf. And I mean the stuff that he does, like, just, I mean, I don't think I even need to say anything. What's so incredible about garfygram is not just the work that he's doing, but it's the amount of work that he's doing and how often you get to look at something new. And the amount of stuff that he's done in 2020 has just been fantastic. I consistently look for his posts, and I'm very inspired by them. Lastly, and probably the person who has brought me the most creative, inspirational joy is Emma. Emma has this extraordinary painting style that you can see here that's extremely vibrant, extremely colorful. It's somewhere between comic book style and vaporwave and grimdark and almost like a drawing using hash marks and highlighting and layer painting, and just in general has been consistently putting out miniatures and paint schemes that when I look at them, they make me smile and they make me happy because of the color scheme and just something innately ingrained into her style. She's also prolific, which is incredible. And one of the other things that I saw, one of the first things that I saw this year was her work on making these stained glass windows, which, you know, she shows how to make the stained glass windows using resin. She shows how to make using the stained glass windows out of acetate and drawing on them, but her work is just beautiful and it's wonderful. Her YouTube page is Dyson Demons. She's always putting out new work, and I honestly love her work. Last but not least, we actually have somebody new for this week. I know we were looking at the past, but just stuff keeps coming. Bobo's hobby came up in my feed, and I was just like, what is this incredible thing? And it is absolutely incredible. He has 126 subscribers. You should head on over to his channel and subscribe, because look at the project that is being made. It is gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous and incredible. What a fun hobby. It's all modular. It's all painted really well. It's got LEDs in it. Like, oh, look at that. Look at that. Bobo. Yes, I want to come to your house and I want to play with your toys. And it's really important. Yeah, the end of the year is coming and 2021 looks brighter than 2020, but there were still so much amazing things happening in 2020 and so many amazing artists and people in our community that I love sharing and I love looking at. And so of course I'm going to end the video not looking back, but looking forward with somebody new. Bobo, I hope to make you a friend. I hope to be in communication for 2021, and I absolutely love this project. Good luck with your YouTube channel. I'm hitting that subscribe button right now. I hope that many of my followers will as well, because this project absolutely deserves a subscribe. Well, thank you all so much for joining me in my studio today to look back at some of the people who have brought amazing inspiration to myself and hopefully to the community as well. And thank you so much for the communities in general and for everybody sharing and participating. Again, we have looked at over 60 artists this year in 2020 that have brought me inspiration from everything from new painters to expert painters to costume makers and to map makers, which is just absolutely incredible, the amount of amazing things that people are producing. It inspires me to produce my own stuff, to keep getting better, and to keep sharing with you. I hope you all enjoy seeing these artists. I hope looking at some of this stuff has reminded you of some of the positive things that have come from 2020 and not just all the negative things from 2020. And I look forward to meeting and looking at so many more artists as we move forward every week with I Should Be Painting. Until next time, this has been Aaron from CGN, and as always, we'll see you on the table.